I'd been a touring musician since I was 6 years old, and so I was well oiled on the road. You know, I was used to the routine of the road and playing every night and all that sort of stuff. So when I moved to Sydney, the guy who was playing in the band for Jesus Christ Superstar rang me and said, "Can you fill in for me? I need a break." And so that's where I met the guys from Air Supply. When Graham came in with Lost in Love, then I got to play on all those hits in the early days. I did Every Woman in the World, American Girls, All Out of Love, Lost in Love. There was a tight schedule, and the producer knew that I was the guy who could come in and play the rhythm part, one take, next song, one take, next song. You know, they used to call me Fluke Skywalker, because I would do a pass of a song I'd never heard in my life and play just what I thought was the right part. And the producer would go, "Well, that's it. I don't think we can beat that. Let's move on to the next thing." It doesn't take me 6 months to make an album. It takes me 2 to 3 days recording and mixing. That's it. If I can't get it in 1 or 2 takes maximum, then I'd better find another job, you know? Because this one sure don't fit my pistol. I don't write a lot of songs with lyrics, you know. If I do, I remember I was so lucky. You remember Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, who wrote Last Train to Clarksville and all that. I had an appointment with Bobby Hart. When I had this song, there was kind of like it was a groove, like an Al Jarreau kind of smooth jazz kind of groove, you know. And I had this melody and the whole thing. And I got to his house, and every wall was covered in awards. I've never seen so many awards from one songwriter, right? So we go down to his music room, and he says, "Well, show me what you got." So I start playing this tune, and he said, "What's this about?" I said, "I don't know, but you know." And he starts writing, and I'm singing the melody to him, and the words just came off the pen. He wrote, and within 10 minutes, he had the entire song written, and it was really good, right? That's a great gift right there. You know, he's on the piano, he's writing words, he's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, da, da, da." And then he said, "Okay, sing this." And he gave me the lyric sheet, and I sang it. And it all worked, you know, it was like a masterpiece right there in 10 minutes. Some people can do that. I work with people who will labor for a week over a verse, you know, who will spend time discussing every word of, is it saying the right thing, is it setting the thing, and all that. You know, I'm like, I'll get this done, I'll move on to the next thing. You can't force music, you know, it has to come to you and flow through you. And, you know, when you watch someone like Leon Russell, for instance, you know that something's coming to him and flowing through him. He's a channel. When he's playing piano and singing, it's like you're galvanized. You have to listen, you know. This Masquerade, what a song. I think the first time I heard that song was the Carpenters version. And of course, Karen Carpenter, what a great singer she was. And her brother Richard was a great arranger and producer. But when George Benson came out with it, that song was like it was written for him. Because when he sang it, he changed the world, you know. The right song found the right home. Jimmy Webb, totally, are you kidding? There's the Encyclopedia of Songwriting. He tells a whole story with just a few words. He doesn't have verse after verse after verse after verse like Mr. Dylan does, and he's a genius too. But Jimmy Webb came along at a time, like MacArthur Park. Holy smoke, how did he write that, you know? But you know, by the time I get to Phoenix, every time I played it, I'd get so emotional because I really felt for that girl in the song, because everything was great to her, but she didn't know he couldn't go any further. So he left. You know, she didn't know I would really go. When I hear that phrase, oh man, it just makes me tear up, you know. And yeah, Jimmy Webb to me is is one of the ultimate songwriters. There's something so great about hearing the composer do his own song. James Taylor, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. That's one of the few versions of a song written by someone else that sounds like a James Taylor song to me, you know. But then when you hear James Taylor sing, you know, Fire and Rain or Carolina or any of those songs of his, it's like, that's the universe sending us something so great and to fill our soul and to get us through today. Let's have a listen to James Taylor sing, In My Mind I'm Gone, Carolina. You know, Billy Joel's another one of my favorite songwriters. Elton John, you know, songs from the West Coast, what an album. That guy's amazing. I remember seeing Elton and Leon together on one of those Tonight shows or whatever, you know. I don't know Elton personally. I met him once and I've been a fan since those early days, the Madman Across the River. But I sure have admired him for so long. And an artist of that level whose work is so consistently great, you know how hard that is. And to reach that goal every time, he probably knows all the holes and all the faults in his work better than anybody. But for the rest of us, we look at him and go, how the hell is he doing that? It's incredible, you know, and it's at that level. Eric Clapton's the same. He's a journeyman who's said, this is who I am, and like it or lump it, you know. I was very fortunate. In 1990, I was offered the Eric Clapton tour to be the opening act, and I had a band in those days. I was playing half electric, half acoustic. And this tour elevated me in my own country of Australia just by the fact that Eric Clapton's audience was huge, and I came out with my band to open. And normally, if you've paid money to see Eric Clapton and another guitar player opens, it's like, oh, for God, get off, get the real guy out, you know. I got such incredible support, and I got support from Eric and his band as well. Greg Fillinganes and Nathan East and all those guys. They were so encouraging and so sweet to me and my band. And that tour elevated me. All my shows like sold out in a second after that. And then all of a sudden I went from playing 600 to 800 seaters to 1,500 to 2,000 seaters. Boom, almost like 2 weeks later, I was up there, you know. And that's what a tour like that can do for you as an artist. But a guy like Eric Clapton has always, to me, been a great example. You know, it's like you hear a record and you go, oh, that's Eric. You hear one note or you hear one word and you know exactly who that is. And, you know, a lot of people miss the point. A lot of people focus in on, he's a guitar hero, he's blah, blah, blah. But how about his song choices? How about starting with that? He knows what songs he can deliver from his heart, you know. When that song, If I Could Change the World, came out, what a beautiful song. And it was written by Nashville guys, you know, but it was exactly the right song that we wanted to hear a guy like Eric Clapton do. And everything about it was just right. And that's what he does. He knows who he is and he knows what works for him. I live to play and I love being home, you know. I miss home. But when I get home, I'm already looking out the window saying, I'm going to be out there soon, you know. And James Taylor said it better than anybody in a song called My Traveling Star. It's like he wrote our life story. And of course, all James Taylor's songs are about himself because he has the same thing. So he says, they hunger for home, but they cannot stay. They wait by the door, they stand and they stare. They're already out of there. That was me when I was married and had kids and everything. I'd get home from tour because I couldn't wait to be back with my family. A couple of days later, I'm standing at the door looking out down the road going, I'll be out there soon. I can't wait to get back and play, you know? That's the dilemma of being who we are. Now, the way for us to live our lives is to make peace with that, because the people get into drugs and drinking heavy and because they don't want to face that. They want to move that out of the way. They don't want to feel it. So I'm this person. And now when I go home, I'm this person. And that's wrong. You're not. You're the same person all the time. And you need to make peace with stuff like that, or it will destroy you.